was a dark day when I lost my faith. I wasn't the pony I thought I'd be, and it seemed that no one could relate. There was nothing left for me to see. So I took a walk to the edge of the town. The thought of leaving it all behind, when I saw a little letter fall right out of the sky, as a gray mare hovered way up high. I thought I was crazy when I saw her wave, and then simply fly away. So I opened the letter and looked inside, and what was written made my day. It said, "Isn't it great to be different? Isn't it wonderful to be exactly who you are? When you learn to start accepting yourself, you'll become a shining star." To this day, the writing on that page is modeled by the tears I shed. 'Cause at that moment something inside me changed, and a bright new path I led. I ran back home and I picked up my old guitar, and I started strumming these chords, and I sang her words along with their song, and I heard someone sing along, and we sang, "Isn't it great to be different? Isn't it wonderful to be exactly who you are? When you learn to start accepting yourself, you'll become a shining star." I turned around and I saw her at my door, a cute gray mare with the wall-eyed stare. She said,
I've heard you play and sing before, and I heard a sadness I could not bear. I just wanted to tell you that the hardest thing I faced wasn't the teasing or the pain. It was convincing myself I wasn't stupid, strange, or lame, and helping others do the same.
"These last few years flew by just like a blur. I'm now exactly where I should be, and I know I owe it all to her. That beautiful mare who believed in me. accepting yourself, you'll become a shining star.
Isn't it wonderful?
You'll become a shining star.
Isn't it great?
When you learn to love just who you are.
Walking up to you is the hardest thing to do. And every time I look into your eyes, I forget just what to do.
Deciding what to say, trying to chase my fears away. But every time I look into your eyes, nerves begin to fray.
And all this time spent down for my life to turn around, I know I'll find a way to be with you someday. And someday you'll see, you'll notice me. All the times I've tried to be right by your side, but the hardest thing of all to do is to try and talk with you.
Wishing from afar, trying to find the right star. But the hardest thing of all to do is to try and talk with you.
And all this time spent down for my life to turn around, I know I'll find a way to be with you someday. And someday you'll see, you'll notice me. How am I gonna act?
What will I do
when I'm finally with you? How will time pass us by?
Stay by my side.
I don't know what to do. I hope that you feel the same way I do. I hope you do. Oh. Standing at your door, not knowing what to do. I must be crazy for even saying this, but I'm in love with you.
I look into your eyes. What a perfect surprise. You're not crazy for saying this, 'cause I love you too.
And all this time spent down for my life to turn around, and I think I found a way to be with you someday. And today you've seen, you've noticed me.
I've learned to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share, no, I got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear. Cause I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? We start with stars in our eyes, we start believing that we belong. But every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, because you've learned. On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear. While I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving? When you're falling in a forest, there's nobody around. Do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? It's like I've never made a sound. Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear. Well, I'm watching people pass, waving through a window. Can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving? Oh my God. Hi. It's me. Hey. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in and checking things out. I didn't let the timer hit 0. I'm sorry. If you want to see it here, I'll go back. Any moment. That's what it says at 0. I'm so sorry. Alright, please let me know if my microphone is loud enough or too loud or anything like that. I'd like to say hi, Moonshadow Luna, Gillian Quigley, Let's Eat Hay, Vicky, Killer Waffle, Toy Koi, that's an interesting name. Cordis, Wasson, Bubblegum, Dennis Wendler, Flamelight Dash, over 229, well not over, 229 people watching right now. Animation, Pikachu Lover, L. Rayleigh, Morgan Sword, Samantha, oh my God, hello, IT Pony, I feel your pain, IT Pony. Kitty, Diamond Melody, Aether Rel, Enjoy Twice. Thank you guys so much for joining. I don't know if you guys, can you guys do emojis in that chat, in the chat? I keep looking over there because that's where I keep putting all my stuff, and I'm going to introduce everybody else that we got here too, but If we have emojis that have flags, stick a flag in there so that we can see where you guys are from, because I know for a fact that people are tuning into this thing from all over the world. This is amazing. We have people from the West Coast, we have people from the Middle Coast, we have people from the East Coast, we have people from Great Britain, we have people from, I think at least someone is joining us from Australia. UK flag. There's worlds. There's no actual flags in the chat. That sucks. I really want flag emojis now. I saw it in somebody's name. Somebody had a UK flag in their name. This is so amazing. I agree with you. Thank you for joining us. I would just like to say thank you guys so much for coming and being here for this awesome event. Really what we're doing here is we're going to be doing a premiere of a giant collab that was created by Side about a year ago. And if you guys haven't seen the pre-launch video that I put out, I don't know why you're here, but it's here. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our Discord chat so that a bunch of people can say hi. And hopefully it's not like deafening roar as soon as I unmute this. Hi, guys.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Hey. Hey.
Hi.
Let's do this and see.
Are we live?
You are live. Yes. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, people. Hello, everyone. Hello, stream.
So hopefully, wow, very deafening. And they are quiet. They are quiet. Let me bump up the audio on this a little bit. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties as usual. I'm just going to bump this up. I'm going to drop my mic down ever so slightly. Alright, so I'd just like to say in the chat here we got L-Train, we got Scribbler, we got Party Blossom, Skypaw, Side Music, Vocal Score, and Zeta and Rosie. Zeta wasn't in this particular collab as a singing voice, but he did contribute to the video. But the rest of us all contributed singing-wise, I believe. Party Blossom did all the artwork, which is awesome, but hey guys.
Hi.
So I'm going to see if there's anything I can do to get this a little bit louder. Output volume, yes, let's do 150, since you guys are all very polite. Alright, chat, let me know if these guys are too quiet, but let's crack on. So real quick, let's just go down the list here and talk to you guys real quick, and just tell us what you did for the project and why you're excited about this release. And I might as well start at the top with L-Train.
Okay, so I just provided some vocals, and why am I excited about the project? It's just good to see everyone coming together to raise money and raise awareness for such a good cause.
All right, great. Sorry, I'm just working on audio stuff to see if they can super quiet, can't hear a thing. It's awesome. I love testing stuff beforehand. It works out wonderfully. Let me just double check system sound, default speakers. Yeah, it should be working. Cool. It's never a good stream without technical difficulties. L-Train, just recap one more time. You sang on the project and... I just want to see if your voice shows up. Oh god. We screwed up everything. Well, I screwed up everything.
It's wonderful to see a lot of folks coming together for such a good cause.
Sorry about the feedback there. I'm not sure why Discord's not pushing through, but I'm going to keep trying to work on that. We'll move on to Party Blossom. Let us know what you contributed to this project.
I was the artist in this project, and I found that I really enjoyed drawing all the art for it because I enjoy Pride Month, and I enjoy doing art for other people and just being in general in projects.
Awesome. Skypaw.
Well, I did vocals for this project because I really like singing, and I was asked by Side, and why I'm excited for this project. Well, me being a part of the LGBTQ community, it was really awesome to see the Brony community and the Brony fandom come together to help people in the LGBTQ community, especially since I have a lot of friends in that community. So it was great overall to see everyone come together and have fun with it.
Awesome. Let's move on to, I'm keeping Scribbler inside for last just because you guys did a lot for this project, but vocal score, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I've provided vocals for this song. I would have liked to have been involved a lot more than I was, but sort of life got in the way. But when I first heard about this project, it was immediately one that I can imagine myself being drawn to quite quickly because, hey, it's a musical theatre song and I'm a massive musical theatre nerd. But then we also came up with all these, you know, the context of it started bleeding through more and more for the LGBTQ plus stuff. And as it sort of snowballed and got bigger and bigger, I realized what like a really lovely project it is and how much it could mean to certain people. So that's why I decided I wanted to get on board as quickly as possible, really.
That's awesome. Zeta, let me know what your involvement in the project is and what you've been doing.
So, as you previously mentioned, I did not sing on this, but I did help doing some lip syncing, basically, and being a hand model. And yeah, that was pretty much my involvement with that. And also, I know you talked to me last night. I also do a show where I talk a lot about, you know, depression, anxiety, LGBT issues, and talk to different people in the fandom about their struggles with that kind of stuff and how that involves their work.
Yeah, and I absolutely want to touch on both that and the kind of discussions that you had on your show regarding LGBT stuff too. But we'll touch on that a little bit later in the stream here. Let's go with Rosie, who I believe is with you.
I am here, yes.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm excited because, well, one, I love singing, obviously, or else I wouldn't have helped sing in this project. But I really love big, huge collabs like this because it just features everybody's talent and, like, it brings heart to a song like this, especially, you know, with dealing with, like, depression and suicide. Like, I feel like this collab brings such a powerful message forward and touches your heart. So I feel very proud to be part of this because of that.
That's great. Yeah, it's I'm sorry, I'm still working on sound stuff on the side here, but yeah, no, it's absolutely awesome to be part of stuff like this, and I love when we can draw attention to things like the Trevor Project with collabs and events and music and stuff like this. Speaking of Side, a year ago, you proposed a massive Brony collab, and you played me a song from a musical that I had never heard before at the time, and made me fall completely in love with it. So tell me a little bit about that.
Hello. Yes, I remember a year ago, my friend talked about the show called Dear Evan Hansen and how it was so different from any other musical theater show in the sense of like subject and what it talked about. So then I discovered the show, and then I grew a huge interest in it. And then when I heard this song, which is the Act 1 finale, I just knew I had to do a big project with it, because I've done projects in the past before with the Christmas song Mando, and then This Is the New Year with Turquoise. I just knew I had to do something with it. So I remember starting it and, you know, messaging so many people because I was like, I know this has to be the biggest yet. And the amount of interest was just fascinating. It was just amazing to see how many people were on board with it immediately and how people knew what with what the subject was how much of a positive response there was in return. So it was really fascinating. It was really amazing to see that coming from a lot of people.
That's great. Yeah, I'm really happy that you introduced that to me and put me on to Dear Evan Hansen, and
Isn't it wonderful?
it's an amazing show.
I love it. And I got
Okay. Reconnecting. All right.
Dang, we're down to 36. Oh, no, there's 45.
It'll jump back
That
up
went
as
fast.
they come back in.
all right. I'm idiot. What does BSOD mean?
Blue screen of death.
Oh,
So
Oh.
isn't that so lovely? Like, who doesn't love that? Like a good BSOD, you know?
BSOD.
a good old
Gets you going,
BSOD.
you know?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
Good
that?
BSOD.
And we're back.
We are back. Hi guys. We're down to 161 from the 200 and some that we had before. But, you know, that's what happens.
Technical difficulties.
Refresh if you don't see it. Yeah, no, see, it's the whole forest rain and derpy thing. It's where it comes from. But here, just so you guys can see, I took a picture as it happened, but, you know, and let me dim down the brightness on my phone so you can see this. But, yeah, just
Screen of death.
straight up blue screen of death. Just unhappy.
Unbelievably bad timing.
Unhappy panda. Okay, so me and Side were geeking out about Dear Evan Hansen, but let's carry on real quick into Scribbler. Scribbler, tell us what you did for this project, if anything, you know?
If anything, I did nothing.
Who are you? No, I'm kidding.
I am just somebody who wandered in off the street and you took pity on me.
Exactly. Just some. We felt bad. We felt bad, you know. So we were like, we gotta include her.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally what happened. I just looked wet and bedraggled and they went, oh, that's
Aw.
There you go. There you go.
In all seriousness, I was originally just a vocalist and a very surprised one because, like, I'm not a singer. So I don't get asked to be in these projects. So when Side contacted me like over a year ago, I did check that he'd messaged the right person.
Oh, stop it.
Like
I knew I messaged.
I had no songs on my channel or anything. He was like, "Are you sure you didn't mean this for someone else?"
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I sang on the track, and then when it was when we were sorting out what it was going to go by, working on it a couple of months ago, I volunteered to do the visuals and the video, and it kind of spiraled upwards from there.
Spiraled out of control.
Certainly felt like it. My entire family is in this video, like, including my unborn baby niece.
Okay, how cute is that though? Like, let's take a second. That's very adorable.
I'm gonna hold up an awe title card. Everybody awe.
Yeah, my family is like, it took them quite a few years to really grasp the whole pony thing. So the fact that they were all in this was like a little mini coup that made me warm inside. But the reason this project was really important to me is, for those who are not aware, my background is actually in secondary school teaching. And as such, over the course of 10 years, I delivered a lot of sex education. For some reason, nobody else ever wanted to cover that. So it was like, wow, just get her to do it. Fine, okay. But one thing that I noticed was, like, there was no LGBT anywhere in the curriculum. And I kind of made it my task to introduce this as part of the personal social health education. And that really, it's something that stuck with me. So when we came back to do this, I wanted to help make it something significant to that age bracket where everything is like, life is really hard, and then you introduce hormones as well. You'll just be left a founder. So that's why this project is important to me.
That's awesome.
And gallons of tears.
Sorry, I'm still just working through things to see if I can figure out what the heck is going wrong with everything, but, you know, I'm just gonna blame it on Derpy. It's
Derpy's fault.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I got distracted.
Was that a child?
That was
that a,
beautiful.
Was that a child?
Little kid.
Is there a legit child in this stream? Because I will cry.
No,
Please tell me.
it's just Rosie. She just looks like a
No.
child. She's a child at heart.
Oh. Oh.
That would have been great. Just little kid pop up on the other side. Hi, guys.
Oh, stop. That was horrible.
Yo, what up? Yo, what up?
Suddenly puberty.
By the way, Scribbler, since we're talking about voices here, yours is adorable! Oh my god, I can't get over it. I love accents. It just...
Thank you. Some people say that I just sound like somebody's put Octavia in a blender, but...
in a blender?
I've made it work. I must admit, in parts of it'll be clear to everybody on stream when we play the video, but there's a certain part where my voice popped up in the song, and I was playing it for my sister, and she dropped my phone because she started laughing and went, I wasn't expecting that.
Ow.
Yeah.
I managed to change things up. Oh, I have a delay on my voice now, and I have to take these off because otherwise I'm going to drive myself nuts. But I managed to repatch my audio in such a way where we can hear you guys in Discord. I think it has something to do with like Discord's weird audio thing, but nobody cares. So people can hear you loud and clear now.
Am I too loud? Am I okay?
So what I'm hearing is we need to call Discord and complain.
I have actually sent support tickets to Discord about this, but that's a story for another day.
I thought you meant like support, like letters. Like, you're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing.
Moral support letters. Dear moral support.
Good job.
I'm feeling really bad about things today. Can you please fix your software so I can feel better?
What did they reply? Like they have a hotline, like Discord hotline for moral
They
support.
replied with something very similar to that, where it's not quite a hotline, but they're like, join our beta server.
There you go. Bam! Instant happiness right there.
Yeah, I was like, no, sorry.
That's like the best they can offer.
Yeah. So, real quick, I just wanted to draw attention to everybody that this is a charity stream, and I just wanted to pull this up real quick and just let people know that we are doing this for the Trevor Project. So, if you do go to our site right now, you will be found .horse, which I'm going to load up, and it's immediately going to play the stream and feedback and all that kind of fun stuff. If you pull up you will be found .horse, there is this awesome link up in the top right side that says donate. There's also giant pink letters underneath that say click here to donate and get the album. Please go there. If you guys are going to contribute to the Trevor Project, in response you will get a copy of this album. You will get a copy of the full song that we will be premiering with the video shortly. You'll get a copy of the song that's just a cappella singing. You'll get an a cappella speaking track, and you will get the unedited artwork for both the album art that's in a square format and the full wide version that we're using for this preview on this video. So please, please, please go there, click it. If you click it and do it now, you will actually get the album before we premiere it live, so good on you. Winchester's kind of looking over all that stuff, but if you come here and you hit the donate button, it's going to load up the Trevor Project page, and we have, hey, we're up to $50. That's awesome. We have this page here over here on the Trevor Project. We're looking to raise $1,000 from this. Just our little way of giving back and saying thanks. If we can exceed that, all the better. But $1,000 is what we're looking to raise. By contributing, you will be helping LGBTQ youth, and you will receive the album. Basically, it's all manual, so Winchester is manning that all throughout the live stream today. Anytime that you send a donation there, you'll have to put in your email, and then you will get an email at some point tonight. Probably pretty quick since it's Winchester's job right now, so you can expect it probably within about 10-15 minutes. You will get an email that has links to the full quality downloads. You'll get an option for full quality FLAC, WAV, or MP3, high quality MP3s. So really great deal. You can donate whatever you want. and this donation is going to be up until the end of Pride Month. So whatever this is, the 30th. It's going to be good until the 30th. So please, 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 let's get this. I want to see at minimum $100 raised before we play this song. So if you guys are thinking of donating, don't wait. Go there, do it now. I want to see $100. As soon as this thing hits $100, we will play the song. I will stop whatever we are doing at the time. But real quick, the Trevor Project. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Forced.
I'm sorry?
I don't mean to interrupt you or anything, but it looks like the chat is saying you're a little quiet.
I can fix that very easily. I pumped that up a little bit.
Sorry about that.
No, that's good. That's good. Keep giving us feedback on that kind of thing. I should be plenty loud at this point. I see a thumb up. Real quick, I forget who suggested, but I think it was Side that suggested the Trevor Project as a charity for this?
As much as I would...
It was me.
Yeah,
It was
as much
Scribbler?
as I would love to claim that idea, it was not my idea.
All right, so Scribbler, I'm not sure how far back you go with the Trevor Project, but explain why you were interested in helping out the Trevor Project with this.
My history with the Trevor Project is actually very short-lived, and as embarrassing as it is for me to say, I actually only discovered them through last week tonight, and John Oliver, when they did their Marlon Bundo book thing. And from that, I did some investigating into it, because I already had this idea in my head of suggesting that maybe we do this as a charity project and that be the charity. And the more I learned about it, the more it sparked in my head those aforementioned memories of. I taught a lot of students over the decade I was in secondary education who needed that kind of resource, and it wasn't there. So I thought raising their profile, helping them make some money, the fact that they are just a completely non-profit, everything about them seemed poised to do exactly what I thought the LGBTQ community needed, because there is that very vulnerable age where students would come and talk to me, but there was only so much I could do. I was one person, and I wished there was more of a support network, which is exactly what Trevor Project is. And I was diagnosed with clinical depression a few years ago, so I, as an adult, find it difficult some days. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be a teenager and also be dealing with that. So it seemed like such a good fit for what we as a community stand for.
I absolutely agree. Everything that I've seen with this, they're just so genuine, and I mean, they provide a lot of great resources. For those who aren't aware, the Trevor Project specifically aims to help LGBTQ youth between the ages of 13 through 24. Established in 1998, and it was a kind of founded by the creators of the Academy Award-winning short film Trevor. I haven't seen the film. I definitely need to check that out. But
It is a very good film.
Very genuine in the way that they work, and they include a lot of great resources. And I'm just gonna keep this refresh, make sure it's going. 85. We are $15 away from just stopping everything and going to this video. And I know this is a pain for those of you that tune in just for the premiere, and I'm aware. It is a charity project, and it is very much about the charity. The facts, I shared a couple of them in the pre-roll video that we did beforehand, but just staggering facts. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among young people ages 10 to 24. That alone is just a staggering fact. That LGBT youth seriously contemplate suicide at almost 3 times the rate of heterosexual youth. They're almost 5 times as likely to have attempted suicide. Of all the suicide attempts made by youth, LGBT youth suicide attempts were almost 5 times as likely to require medical treatment than that of heterosexual youth. Like, these statistics are just staggering, and I mean, it's definitely problems that affect adults as well, and, you know, especially with, you know, like the trans community and that kind of thing.
We've just jumped to
We just hit 120 or
We-
190.
It's 190.
190. That's amazing. Thank you guys so
That's
much.
crazy. Thank you guys.
That
Yes,
is
thank you.
fantastic. Well, as promised, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to stop giving you suicide facts. Let's go ahead and start the premiere. If you guys go to Twitter, let everybody know that we are starting. And please enjoy the video. Scribbler, anything to say before we play this?
To be honest, I think everything I want to say I've either said or can be said afterwards. I will say that this video is probably the thing I am proudest to have ever worked on. Ever.
That's amazing. All right. Without further ado, here we go.
I'm so excited.
Sorry guys, as always, technical difficulties. What do you expect? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the screen here, and we're just gonna play it straight off of here. It looks like my streaming software is having problems, so we're just gonna play it directly from the folder.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere?
Have you ever felt like you could disappear?
Like you could fall and no one would hear?
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay.
'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand,
You can reach out your hand.
And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through,
When you need a friend to carry you,
And when you're broken on the ground,
you will be found.
so let the sun come streaming in.
'Cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around.
You will be found.
You will be found.
You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found.
I didn't know what love was until my dad met his husband.
You should not be afraid of who you are. Your true colors are the things that make you unique.
It does get better, I promise.
You have every right to be yourself.
Be proud to be you.
You'll get through this.
True love should never be ignored.
Love knows no limits.
Love is love is love is love cannot be killed or swept aside.
There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. Love is contagious. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
Love is love.
If you only say the word.
You are not alone and you never will be.
from across across the silence, your voice is heard.
You are stronger than the hate.
This world would be a whole lot better if we just made an effort to be less horrible to one another.
We can all have our voices heard.
You should be who you want to be.
Equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you. Love is beautiful, and you're beautiful.
Believe in yourself and love who you love.
Never be afraid to be yourself.
Take pride in who you are.
Hearts, not parts.
We're all human.
Your true colors are the things that make you special. Don't be afraid to show them.
Don't ever settle for less than who you really are.
No matter how bad things at the start, everything will get better, I promise you. So don't give up ever, not in a million trillion bazillion years, no matter what, okay?
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 You are not alone.
Even when the dark comes crashing through,
When you need someone to carry you. When you're broken on the ground.
You will be found. Cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Someone to carry you. You will be found. You will be found.
You will be found.
And we are back.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Oh my god.
I have shivers. Good shivers.
I'm shook.
All right.
I'm shooketh.
So that was the first time that almost all of us have seen this in its entirety. We've seen previews of it, and seeing it come together like this is just far and beyond what we ever thought it would. One of the things that I thought was, I'm diving into video review mode, but one of the things that I thought was really smart on Scribbler and Party Blossom's part is the beginning of it. It only shows a very small portion of the OCs, the ponies, the reindeer, in Blue's case. And that's obviously very intentional in that, you know, you get to the reveal at the end when, you know, we break out in giant chorus and sing about how great it is to be ourselves and, you know, try to provide hope to other people, where that's when you finally see the entirety of who's actually singing, including the voices, the faces and voices that are behind these OCs. Tell me more about that, Scribbler, please.
Well, the opening bit was largely influenced by the idea that I wanted to communicate the sense of anonymity that you get when you are dealing with a problem almost entirely on your own, that you feel like no matter what anybody tells you, you are on your own, that nobody else has ever dealt with the problem quite like the one that you've got. And there is this sense of isolation. Like I said, I've diagnosed with depression as an adult. And when you add the pressures of teenage life to that, and you have these LGBTQ issues added on top of that melange of correctitude, that you can feel so alone. So I deliberately missed out faces. It's the idea that you don't feel like there is anybody who would understand you, that you don't have anyone you can turn to, that you don't feel like you matter. And the reveal of the message, "You are not alone, you will be found," reveals that everybody is individual. A larger number of people than you think have probably dealt with this problem, and they have their experience that could help you deal with it too. Which is one of the reasons why, as the song built up, because you showed me each edit of the song as we were going along first, so it was rather late into production that I decided to add in the live action faces, but it felt important to show that it was not just purely pony OCs, that there are real people who would be willing to say, "You are not alone, I am here too." And to be fair, I was really proud of the turnout of the number of videos that people sent to me for that section, and the crescendo of the visuals was to match the crescendo of the music.
Yeah, I was, oh my God, you guys, thank you guys so much. We are almost at a third of the way to our goal already. $305 raised. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, no, it's, I'm sorry, I was killing people's ears, I think. Yeah,
I aim to make at least one person cry with that video. That was my ultimate goal.
I think there was an entire chat worth of people that were crying. And Skypaw is still crying.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I look weird now. It was beautiful. I loved it.
So going back into this, the feeling of anonymity and all that, and speaking of these live videos at the end, watching that, I now am wondering if we can do some sort of, you know, side video that showcases all the people that sent these messages and play them with sound so that we can actually hear what everybody was saying.
Sure. I'd be willing to do that.
There
are quite a few of them that got bloopers in, so if you want me to leave the bloopers in,
oh yeah, bloopers are fantastic. Like, you get really serious with all the people that are, you know, everybody saying you are not alone. Which, if the guys in the chat don't know, that's exactly what we're saying. We were all just saying you are not alone. But no, would totally love to see that.
Yeah, I will string those together into a video for you.
That'd be awesome. And I don't mean to like pile on more work for you, but I think that would be really cool.
To be honest, that's going to be the simplest thing I've had to do for this project.
Oof.
I loved it. I don't want to actually make out that like I didn't enjoy this. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, we had a big crunch at the end.
Yes, we did.
Side seeing that a year ago you proposed this idea, and I thought it was an amazing concept and jumped on it immediately. So tell us, how are you feeling now that you've seen the final product a year later?
I think it's definitely was something I did not think would become this big and this amazing. And because I've done these big group projects before, but it's always like the big struggle is, okay, we have the audio, what do you do with the video now? And what OBAB did was amazing, not only taking cartoon, but also taking like photos from real life and taking videos from people who are part of this and going into that world, bringing we're not just cartoon figures, we're real people. I think it's so beautiful to see that, and it just sounds it sounds amazing. I can't get over it. I mean, I sent you the video. I don't know if you watched my first reaction, but this video was
I have that.
amazing.
How long is that? Can we play that now?
I mean, it's like 7 minutes because I stopped a few times because there were like a few vocal moments. I was like, ooh, I had to listen to it again because I was a little
okay.
shook.
So it was a full reaction of like you hearing the song and playing through. Maybe we'll play that like near the end as we're wrapping up the stream.
Go for it. But definitely seeing what it's turned into is amazing. And just talking about what I kind of did in a sense with the vocal arranging. The original vocal arrangements for the song require no basses but only tenors. But I definitely wanted this song to be, I wanted everyone to
all inclusive.
So I remember writing a new harmony for lower voices.
Yeah, and that's one thing that really struck me was that when you sent the lyrics out, and I'm sure I have this somewhere, and I'll try to pull it up, and I'll wind up showing a bunch of stuff I shouldn't show and all sorts of things. But when you, where is it? Giant Group Collab. So this is what the doc looked like, you guys. I swear this computer's gonna blue screen again. But Side had organized this in such a way that everybody was separated into soprano, alto 1, alto 2, tenor 1, tenor 2, baritone, and bass. And, seeing this, and not only did he provide this, but he provided tracks that, play through each of these parts exactly the way that you're supposed to do it. And, it was just so perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. A lot of organization, because doing these big group projects across online, it's hard, because it's specific harmonies need to be sung by certain people, and it definitely took me a while to figure out how am I going to do this and communicate with people all over the world to sing on the same track, which is not the easiest thing to do, but it's always worth it in the end. And I always end up listening to the mix at least 1,000 times.
Real quick, we just got a super chat, the first super chat of the stream, from Mountain, who donated $10. That says, I'm not a brony and not a fan of the show or anything like that, but I think all of you are doing a wonderful job and everyone in the fandom are really talented people, and I know how all of you feel.
I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh.
I'm already crying. This is just amazing. Thank you, Mountain.
Thank you, Mountain. I'm so glad you tuned in despite not being a brony. I'm glad that we can entertain you and draw awareness to this. And, real quick, just PSA, if anybody is, is having issues or is in a crisis, keep in mind that not only do we have the Trevor Project that provides a crisis hotline for LGBTQ youth, we also have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and you can text, you can talk, you can send a message online. There's lots of ways that you can get help. So for the Trevor Project LGBTQ Crisis Hotline, 1-866-488-7386, or if you prefer the Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. But just going back to everybody here, Skypaw, you have been non-stop crying. So tell us why the reaction like this? Why is this hitting you so hard?
Well, first off, everyone here was amazing. I loved working with everybody because they were just so welcoming, and the song just really hit home when I first heard it, because me being bisexual and having friends actually stop talking to me because of it, it was really hard to adapt to the thought of people being around me that would actually be here for me. But more so, it hits me because my friend, and yeah, I sent you a 10-minute recording, and I was like, oh crap, it's too long.
I'm glad you made it, though.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. I have a friend who this year actually came out to me as lesbian, and I asked her before if I could mention this on the stream, and she said, of course. Where freshman year we were really close, and then sophomore year she kind of just ghosted me. She stopped talking to me, and I was wondering why, because it was so sudden and everything was happening so fast, and being sophomore is really hard because freshman year you're still adapting to high school. Some people have it easy, some people don't. Me and my other friend were one of the people that didn't have it so easy. And she just stopped talking to me. Then junior year this year, last year and this year, we started talking again. And I'll never forget this day. There was a movie called Love, Simon that came out, if anyone saw it. It was a really nice movie. And it was about
Love, Simon screwed me over. I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
So
it's okay. It's okay. It was great. It was a great movie. And my friend took me to see it. She really wanted to see it. And so I was like, okay. And when I think about this, it kind of just makes sense in my head. We were watching it, and halfway through, when he comes out to his parents, I turned to my friend, and she's sobbing her eyes out. And I'm like, what? Like, why are you crying? This is a great thing. I mean, I get that there's struggles and all, but I was really naive to it, and I didn't know why she was crying. And she didn't talk to me for half of the movie, and then when we walked out, she looked at me and she said, Sam, I will never be as brave as Simon was right there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, I will never be able to do that because my parents are homophobic and I'm afraid. And I said, afraid of what? And she's like, Sam, I'm a lesbian. And I just looked at her because I had never thought about her being anything like that. And I was like, that's great. And we held hands, and we just hugged and we cried it out. But it was just an amazing moment. And when I saw everyone grouping together in this collab and just singing out, and especially the speeches when everyone was talking and saying that you are not alone, it just really hit home for me. And I'm just so excited and so happy that we're doing this and we're raising awareness for these people, because people need it so bad. And yeah, so that's why it hit home for me.
Skyfall, you're making me cry.
I'm sorry.
I'm like stone-faced, and you're just like,
I'm sorry.
You're ripping out that heart.
It's
You're
just
making me so
so
teary
good. I'm sorry.
No, I'm really glad you shared that. And I mean, Pride Month is a lot of things to a lot of people. To some people, it's backed up traffic. To other people, it's a spiritual awakening, or it's a moment to finally acknowledge who they really are. And for me, even though I came out publicly with the Brony fandom as transgender, I guess that was, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Even though I came out publicly, I haven't talked about it a lot, and it's not like I'm ashamed of who I am, but I just don't want everything to be about it.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely in a situation like this, for me, I came out to my friends long before I came out publicly or to work and that kind of thing. And it was actually easier to come out to my employer, my boss. It was easier to come out to them than it was my parents. And I remember I was visiting them. I didn't live at home, so I didn't have any kind of, fear of that or anything. But I remember just sitting there at the kitchen table, and I was like, I gotta tell them. And I'm just staring, literally just staring at my hands. And my mom came into the room, and she's like, what's wrong? Something's wrong. And she's like, I can see it. And I'm like, nothing's really wrong, but there's something I need to tell you, and it's kind of strange. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, you should probably bring Dad into the room. And so my dad comes in, and he's standing there, and my mom's sitting across from me at the table, and it takes literally every ounce of strength I have to say, I am trans. I am transgendered. And the funny thing is, like, my dad actually made me laugh, like, directly afterwards, because my mom's like, oh, is that all? And my dad's like, well, I'm glad you finally told your mother. And I'm like, I never told you. Why are you... I'm like, they just totally derailed the gravitas of the situation. And I was just like, oh my God. That was the most exhausting thing I've ever done, but I'm so glad that this is going well. And I know that not everybody has a situation like that, but I mean, even when you do have supportive parents, coming out to them is still insanely hard. And I can't imagine what it's like to come out to parents that are, are homophobic or, transphobic or whatever.
God, yeah, I can only imagine. That would be really trying.
We just got another super chat real quick just before we move on. From Cookie Holder, another $10 that says, to anyone who feels like they don't have a family, this community can be your family because we will love and support you to no end. And Skypaw, you're a sweet babe. New cry.
It's kind of hard not to.
Don't be ashamed of crying. It's beautiful.
Thank you. I told myself I wouldn't cry. I was like, don't cry. You're not going to cry.
Holding in it won't help. Letting it go helps.
Yeah.
Immensely. Trust me. I know that feel.
It's great television. But,
I bet.
Moving along with the same kind of stuff, and I don't know what we're at. I heard that we're over halfway. We are over halfway. Eltrain is informing me that we're up to $534 of our $1,000 goal.
Woohoo!
Thank you, guys.
Amazing.
That is just
thank you.
Mind-blowing. So while Zeta's there, I know I wanted to touch on this. So Zeta, you have a show on the BronyShow.net called I forget offhand. What's it called?
Zeta Primetime.
Zeta Primetime, yes. I remember that it was catchy. I didn't remember the exact phrasing. I didn't want to screw it up. Zeta Primetime on Wednesdays, just before Winchester Wednesdays. And a couple episodes ago, you did a show about anxiety and depression. Somebody just donated $101 anonymously, so thank you.
Oh,
thank you, anonymous person.
Thank you so much.
Even though you can use, just FYI, before we jump into this thing with Zeta, you can donate anonymously so that your name isn't shown publicly, and you will still get the email because you still have to enter in your email address and stuff. So you will still get the album even if you donate anonymously. Just to clear that up in case anybody was wondering. Oh, Anna has to go, but Anna says, have to head off for now. Amazing job, all, and wow, woohoo. Thank you, Anna.
Bye, Anna.
All right, so jumping back into Zeta, tell us a little bit about that show. I know you had Steel Chords on at the time, and I think Steel Chords for the first one, and then you had Dijon Mima for both of them.
Yeah. I had Dijon on for both of them. That was, I guess, probably one of the hardest episodes I've done so far. And I mean, I haven't done a lot because it's still a pretty new show. I think I've only done 4 episodes so far.
That sounds right.
But yeah, and I also had oh god, it's killing me. Can't remember, but I had somebody else I know. There are 2 people I knew submit audio clips, just kind of talking about their own struggles and challenges with anxiety and depression and PTSD.
It was I'm sorry, I remembered. It was Dark the Eagle wanted to be on. I'm not sure if the other person wanted to be. Well, I guess they were on your show.
Yeah.
Genesis Wave.
Yeah, Genesis Wave and Dark the Eagle, two people that I've kind of known for a little while. They both submitted audio clips, just kind of talking about, like I said, their challenges and stuff. And I played both those clips on there, and just because I wanted to share their story, because the goal of that episode and kind of the goal of the whole of my whole show is to just kind of let people be who they are and learn about each other's struggles, so that hopefully we can all help ourselves. Because, like me personally, the whole reason. A part of the reason why I started the show was because I deal very heavily with anxiety and depression. In fact, like right now, I'm like shaking in my boots with anxiety. And so every single episode for me is a struggle, but I do it every week or every other week, just to try to better myself and fight through my own anxiety.
How has your anxiety and depression affected your day-to-day life?
I mean, you and I were having a big conversation about this last night. Like, it seems like at least once a week, or at least like once a month, I'm having like some kind of anxiety attack or panic attack where even just some little things where somebody will tell me something and my mind will roll down this hill of thinking of one thing over another and worrying and worrying and worrying. And sometimes it gets to the point where it gets hard to breathe. And, you know, every single day, it's just a struggle to make sure to keep myself in check. I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about, really.
No, for sure. It's not an easy topic to kind of broach. What kind of things helped you with depression and anxiety? Because obviously, what we're trying to do with this stream is raise funding for the Trevor Project, which is attempting to help LGBTQ youth with these very same issues, with depression, with anxiety, with suicidal thoughts, with, you know, all of that. So what kind of things in your life have been instrumental in improving your quality of life and helping fight the anxiety and the depression?
Number one above everything is my friends and family. I'm not very good at being by myself for long periods of time, because, you know, that's a lot of times when the dark thoughts come in. So whenever I'm feeling down or anxious, I have to talk to somebody, whether it's you know, my wife Rosie, or, you know, if it's, you know, you or any of my friends, just being able to talk to somebody. And, you know, even if it's not necessarily about the anxiety or whatever I'm feeling at the moment, just talking to somebody and just, you know, feeling like something normal is going on helps me a lot, especially with my anxiety mostly and depression. Just reminding myself that, you know, I do have a bunch of really great friends and people out there that do care about me, and just I write it down anytime I can. And I have like a little notebook that I carry with me everywhere in my pocket that kind of has inside of it little notes that I've written to myself, just telling myself that, you know, everything's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's really great. Sorry, I'm loading up the preview thing because there's a bunch of people that shared their stories on there as well, and I'd definitely like to touch on those as well. Rosie, how has his depression and anxiety affected you, and how do you try to deal with that and try to help him with that?
Well, I mean, it's hard to explain how it affects me directly. Some days when I feel like, you know, I'm doing my best to help in whatever way I can, whether it being comforting or doing something to help cheer him up, or, you know, anything, or to help, you know, keep him calm and collected. And it, you know, it doesn't seem to be helping at the moment. Sometimes I feel a little helpless and I wish I could do more, but, you know, at that point, you know, it's a bit out of my control. And really the best I can do is just to keep doing my best to try and help him and just be there and supporting and loving life that, you know, I always try to be every day. You know, I think that's what anybody would expect pretty much their best friend to do, right? and at least hope that they would. So that's what I try to be. But like how it affects me, gosh, like I don't know, just
like it can't be easy having a partner that's, you know, wakes up in the middle of the night with panic attacks and things like that. So
it's. I mean, I guess I've gotten. It sounds kind of bad, but kind of used to it. You just learn, you know, when you can tell when they're having a panic attack. I just kind of hold them gently and close and like, hey, you know, everything's okay. I'm here. Take deep breaths, and normally I get it under, help him get it under control. So, so, I mean, I guess for me, I struggle with my own anxiety and depression myself, and much more recently I've been finding out I definitely have anxiety and a bit of PTSD from past experiences and you know, traumas. So, you know, we both help each other out with that, and
that's good.
You know, that's nice to have somebody there to really help ground you.
Yeah, that's good. Is anybody else here currently in this call? Maybe some of the people that we haven't heard from in a little while, L-Train or Side or Vocal Score. Do you guys have any LGBT issues that you face personally, or anything that, you know, jumps out at you? Great swaths of silence. I'm going to take that as a no.
No,
Across the silence, your voice is heard.
I just want to say, please send like prayers to Party Blossom. If you're watching
Apparently
the
someone
chat.
tried to break into her house.
Oh my god.
This has happened before in her area, so they'll be calling the Guardi.
That is
Prayers for Party Blossom. Also, we got a donation on the super chat, I think.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I was going to point it out, but I don't know what
Polish viewer.
PLN is.
Polish.
I don't know what PLN is either. I think this is the first time I've ever dealt with super chats, but it says $25 from Car4 BoopTube that says, "I'm so glad that you're doing such a lovely project."
Zloty.
Sorry?
PLN is Polish currency.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking that thing. I'm so glad that you're doing such a lovely project. It's so important these days. Tons of hugs to all of you who struggle. We're here for you all. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
That is a lovely message.
I have to agree. Thank you.
Yeah, and I hope Party Blossom's doing okay. Yeah, so in the hype video or pre-show or whatever you want to call it, the thing that I put out on my channel that we've been using to promote this thing for the last couple days, and I apologize to everybody that's like, crap, I can't make this because it was too last minute. It was definitely last minute for us too. I'm leaving next week, so this was like the last weekend that we could do this. So, and obviously it's working out since we're over halfway to our goal. So
That's amazing.
It really is.
So glad about that. But there's a few people that that's left really really sincere comments on the video that we put out and shared their own stories. And I'm just kind of looking, yeah. So like we had one from Zodia195 that says can't make it because going to his or hers, I'm not sure, mother's birthday, but thank you all for doing something like this. Suffered from childhood depression and tried taking my own life at the age of 11 due to massive bullying and feeling completely isolated. It would take physical intervention to prevent me from taking my life. Parents visiting the school I was at saw my attempt and prevented it. No one else tried to stop me. I've become non-suicidal by the time I was 16 because I started getting the support I needed from peers and adults. I would love myself again by the time I was 21 because I got tired of hurting myself and saw the good in me that others did. So the subject of suicide prevention is very personal for me as well as bullying. So I can't wait to at least see the video. Zodia, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm really glad that you were able to turn that around, and that just speaks to the importance of things like the Trevor Project and the Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Don't mean to interrupt, but we got another super chat, I think, from
Awesome.
Jade Amethyst.
20 pounds from Jade Amethyst that says, I'm trans and I often feel lost and alone. I feel trapped in this body that isn't mine. I'm also bi, which brings its own difficulties, finding someone to love the real me when I'm loving them as female when they see male. Yeah. Trans issues are weird. And I mean, I dated a trans person before I came out as trans, and even knowing what I know and knowing that, you know, that part of me was inside deep down, still dating a trans person was strange at first until you just kind of get over it. But it's hard. It's not easy. Dating for trans people is not an easy thing. So finding somebody that really truly accepts you for who you are as a person is really the most paramount thing, I would say, for that.
May I add something to that?
Absolutely.
I have to say, for me, when I first met you, and the person you dated, like, it was definitely different for me. Like, I hadn't really known that, you know, being trans was a thing at the time. But I'm kind of the person that's always wanted to understand people better, and especially because I grew up in a religious background, and we all know how religious backgrounds can be. It was definitely different. So, but like I said, I've always been trying to be an open person who wants to understand better. So, you know, I wanted to get to know you better. So as I did, I slowly started understanding and getting used to the idea and knowing the trials that people who are trans go through. And now I'm kind of more of an advocate, so to speak. I see things every day. I see injustices every day, and I just can't help but want to support the friends that I've come to know and help other people understand maybe just like how I did and be loving and accepting, because don't we all deserve love and acceptance, you know?
Of course.
And that's part of the reason why the friendship that I've had with Zeta and you has been really important to me over the last few years. Just having people who unconditionally love and accept you for who you are is just amazing. I pulled up real quick. This is an image of me from, it's not from BronyCon 2014 when we met, but this is me from BronyCon 2012 when the Fire Nation attacked. And you can not, like, there's similarities, but like looking between those two photos, obviously this is me now, this is me then. It's a drastic change, and you know, as trans people, we need to realize that for those people who have been in our life for so long, this can be really hard. It can be very strange for a mother that's had a son for 26 years to suddenly have a daughter. So we need to be patient too. And yeah, that's where I'll leave that.
I can kind of comment a little bit on the opposite direction, because as you know, my dad, she is trans, and she didn't transition until I was about, I want to say 18 and a half, I think. And I did kind of suspected it for a while before then, because I kind of noticed that my dad, she seemed to be hiding some things. And finally, it wasn't until after Canterlot Gardens in 2012, on the way there, she told me that there was something she wanted to tell me, and that she would tell me later. And then on the drive back after the convention, was when she kind of finally told me. And, you know, I just told her, you know, that I kind of had suspected it, but, you know, that it didn't really change the way that I thought about her, and that I still loved and supported her. And just kind of being there as a child, seeing that transition from that side was definitely an interesting thing. And it's definitely, not in a bad way, but it's definitely changed some things about the relationship that we have. And I've kind of done my best to support her and all her endeavors and stuff, and the stuff that she deals with.
Yeah, it's difficult from both directions, and it's something we need to realize. But I mean, ultimately, it all comes down to love. If you love those who are struggling with your transition, you'll help them through, and they'll help you through. If your friends and family truly love you, they will accept you for who you are.
I have to agree. Very much so.
I'm just looking at the chat here. There's a few people in the chat that are sharing some stories too.
There was a super chat from Altus Volantis, which was also in Polish currency, I think.
Okay. If you see it, go ahead and read it. I don't see it at the moment.
Okay. Oh, they didn't put anything.
Oh, okay. They just
sorry.
edited.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we've got Stormblitz shared a short story in the chat as well. I do thank the Brony community due to the fact that before I was introduced to the show, I had thoughts of suicide due to many of my family's passing. I couldn't take it, but now I'm glad I joined the herd. We're glad to have you.
Wow. We are so glad to have you.
Zodia, who left the story that we read earlier, says, I apologize for something, Forrest. I remember hearing your voice way back in 2013. I was expecting to see a guy when I saw the preview video, so it did surprise me to see you now. You look great. Thanks!
I love it. The support. I love it.
Got a super chat from CW Seville Guardian. Do you want me to read it out loud?
Yeah,
or-
sure. It's a $9.99 super chat. Go ahead and read it.
Yeah. I have been hurt a lot from 07 by cyberbullies and have found kindness and love since then from others closer to me, as well as my Sonichu and Rosachu loves. This is a lovely thing y'all did. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really sweet. Thank you.
All right. Well, we've been talking about sappy stuff for a long time now. So, L-Train.
717, guys.
717. We are now past the
We're so
2/3
close.
mark to our goal. We are almost at our $1,000 goal. Just
Oh my
doing
God.
this chat. Just doing this stream.
That's crazy.
So great.
I want to take advantage of L-Train that's here. And L-Train, you produce epic metal music.
Hello. Sure.
Or, you know, whatever, however you want to put it. You produce epic music. What did you think of the quality of this track, and what made you want to participate in a giant collab like this?
Well, firstly, Side has actually invited me to a few different of these giant collabs, and all of them have been terrific, like wonderful experiences. Like I just enjoy singing with. It's okay, Side. It's just great singing with a whole bunch of people, like in this sort of thing. I thought the way everyone's vocals came together in the big choir moments was really great. Even better than it normally is with these sorts of things. So yeah. So I guess that's credit to you then, Forrest, since you were doing the mixing. So
yes.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I had a lot of experience with this with the Massive Smile project 4 years ago or whatever it was. And obviously I went to school for this kind of thing, so I absolutely love these projects because it always pushes you in your mixing abilities. And it's insanely difficult with all those solo parts to get everybody sort of sounding like they deserve to flow into each other. Because we have extreme ranges of both voices, vocal styles, how far they're singing from the mic, what kind of mic they're recording with, the quality of the recording itself, whether or not they're using noise reduction, all sorts of stuff. So
I always feel bad asking for mixers for these types of projects because I know it's a hard task. It's always my least favorite question.
Which is hilarious because as soon as you showed me the song, I'm like, I'll mix this. Let me mix this. I want to mix this.
Ah, you're so kind.
So, go ahead, L-Train, yeah.
I will point out one interesting fact. So Side started organizing this last year, right? Last Pride Month, I think it was.
Yes.
These projects always take a long time,
January
so that's okay. So I actually recorded some of my vocals last June, and I recorded a few extra things this June. So it contains vocals that were recorded literally a year apart.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we had a few people that just, you know, we either just didn't get the tracks from them, or we had at least one vocalist that sent a track and it just, the quality wasn't there. I asked for a re-recording and it just never happened, so we wound up replacing them as well. But yeah, so the part where L Train sings with MJ with that awesome harmony, that was recorded a year ago, and
that's right.
The solo near the end was recorded literally days ago. So kind of neat.
Yep, that's right.
It's
what a solo that
the
one is.
business.
I'm sorry, say that again, Scribbler.
I said, and what a solo that last line is.
Oh yeah. I was like, just have have an epic metal moment. I don't care if you change the way it's sung or
Just have an epic metal moment. I love it.
He's having a moment.
Side, you've done a few collabs. Tell me a little bit about the collabs that you've done.
So, I've done, technically I've done 4 in total. One was just a little smaller, and it was a gift for a friend. I've done 3 like big ones. And what's it called? So I've done Do They Know It's Christmas with Mando Pony, with which I always call like them like the OG members, and LGBTQ was one of those members. He's been in all 3 that I've done. And then I did This Is the New Year with Turquoise, Splash, and then this one with the good old Forest Rain. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work with anyone who's like ahead on the project, because of you know, it's a lot of organizing, and a lot of like, you know, I gotta find people who's interested, and then like I said, I just feel bad to whoever mixes it. It's actually, I've been very fortunate because like Mando, he was really up for this project. Same thing with Turquoise with This Is the New Year. He was so down when I told him about it. And yeah, I mean, I'm just very fortunate I got to do this and do these types of projects, because they're so much fun, and I love hearing the end product for all of them.
Real quick, we got 2 more super chats. We got Blue Nose Reindeer, who should be here. Why aren't you in this call, Blue Nose? I'm sure he's busy. Says, love you all. We love you too.
I love you.
Love you, Blue. Please get in here.
And we have one from House 007 Theodore, I think is how you pronounce that. SEK $50. I'm not sure what SEK is, but I'm not hip with all the currencies. Say again?
It's Swedish.
Swedish. Okay. Swedish currency of $50. The only thing that turns me on is Rule 34 of MLP. What kind of sexual deviation is it? I'm 22, male. Stop crying. I don't know if that's supposed to be funny or what, but yeah, I think it's funny.
I forgot what Rule 34 is.
Maybe it's
someone messaged me. Someone messaged me what it is.
It's literally just the rule.
Someone message him what it is.
Someone message me Rule 34.
Send him a picture.
Send him Rule 34. See what happens. Protect the children. Protect the children.
If we get to $1,000 in the next 5 minutes, we'll get Forest Rain and Rule 34.
There we go. I'm gonna. Let's think about this.
Except you won't see it on the screen.
I'm not sure.
Someone message me. Thank you. Thank you, Winchester.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is brilliant.
I'm out of date with this lingo, so I mean.
You know their children talking's about.
So real quick, just before we kind of wrap down here, once again, I just wanted to bring this up since we were talking about some heavy stuff before. Keep in mind, we do have crisis hotlines. We have the Trevor Project, LGBTQ crisis hotline, and we have the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Either of these are excellent resources if you need crisis prevention or suicide prevention. Or for the Trevor Project LGBTQ crisis hotline, call 1-866-488-7386. And for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. I'm going to come back here, and just so you guys are aware, since I haven't done this in a little while, open up your browser, go to youwillbefound.horse, and you will see this awesome page that pulls up our live stream that you are tuned into. On the top right, we have this donate button. Please click that, or please click this pink text that's directly underneath. When you click it, it will take you over to our fundraiser page on the Trevor Project. $717 raised. We are almost at 3/4 of our $1,000 goal just in the hour and a half that we've been live. So
That's crazy.
That is amazing. Thank you guys.
Before it ends, never mind.
Before it ends, never mind.
I was gonna suggest, do you want me to upload my reaction video? Because some people have been asking for it.
I downloaded your reaction video. I will definitely play it. I'm gonna play it. I might play it as the thing that we go out with, unless you wanted to comment on it afterwards.
Oh, I don't care.
All right.
Comment.
So real quick, we will play that reaction video from Side, which is going to be awesome based off of all accounts of what Side has told me. I basically sent him the mixed track, and I'm like, here, listen to this, record yourself listening to it, and let me know what you think. But just before we get into that, for everybody that's here, is there any piece of advice you have for either people that are on the LGBT spectrum, or specifically LGBT youth, or for people that are just going through depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, having some sort of crisis? What are your words of advice or encouragement?
As somebody who has sort of very much been through the feeling of being lonely when they were young, due to all kinds of things, including, LGBT related stuff. I think it's very important for both for myself and to hear the kind of stories where that the Trevor Project has this slogan, "It gets better," and a lot of people have been quite negative about it. Said that it doesn't. It's not true, but a lot of the time you don't hear about it because those people have gotten better and they have moved on to wonderful lives, and they feel happy and they feel fulfilled. And I'm very lucky to be one of those people who has had it get better for them, which it does for nearly everyone. I now live with my husband, and I love him more than anything, and that's something where little 11, 12, 13-year-old vocal wouldn't have even dreamed himself being. And I think it's always encouraging to hear those stories of how it truly does get better.
If I could add something?
Absolutely.
Don't be ashamed of when you are having thoughts of exploring your own sexuality and exploring your own identity. Obviously everything I say is largely subjective, just to my own experiences, but I did not realize for a very, very long time that I was interested in girls as well as boys. And it took me until I went off to university, and it sounds really daft, but it was through fandoms that it even occurred to me to explore that side of myself. Specifically, it was through reading fan fictions and things like that. And it sounds very trivial, but it just sort of allowed my brain to go to these places that it had never gone to before. And suddenly things from my past started making a lot more sense. But what the point I'm trying to make is don't close yourself off thinking like, oh, well, it must be me. It must be I'm abnormal if this is the kind of thing that I need to think about to help understand myself. No, it's different for different people. And I think one of the, just in general as a society, we almost judge people too harshly for very subjective individual reasons. That we have this idea of everybody's individual, being yourself is great, being unique is great, and then furiously in real life try to pigeonhole people and make them all follow the rules. And no, don't do that. That's not normal. But frankly, fuck normal. It's too easy to say things without doing the actions that support them. And if you know of someone who is struggling, if you can see that someone is not having an easy time of it, even something as simple as saying like, do you want to talk about it? Like, I won't respond if you don't want me to, but do you want to just have someone to say these things out loud to? I had a few students who sort of used me as a sounding board for how to talk to their parents. And it wasn't even that it was me specifically they needed to talk to. It was they needed to talk to someone as preparation. And that can, like, small actions can have such a significant effect on people. And none of us should feel ashamed if we need to ask for help. It's not weakness to ask for help. That was a very garbled message, but yeah.
No, I'm definitely feeling the sentiment. And you reminded me of something like, I guess this leads into my advice, but I guess my advice would be, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this, but like, don't pussyfoot around it. If it's something that you feel you want to explore, and I'm talking specifically about, you know, trans stuff, since there's a whole lot of really complicated things that go into being trans, but if it's something you want to explore, talk to a doctor. Even if you start hormones, even if you take the first steps, you're not going to have surgery tomorrow. You may never have surgery. I haven't had surgery yet. I transitioned 4 years ago or longer, 5 years ago or something. But I held these thoughts inside for a long time because of preconceived notions that the media instilled in me. You know, I thought, I can't be a girl because my hands are too big. I can't be a girl because my feet are too big. I can't be a girl because I'll never have the right voice. I can't be a girl because of this reason, that reason, every reason, any possible reason. And really, it took dating somebody who was trans to finally work up that confidence to maybe I can finally accept that part of myself. And it's always been something that's been in the back of my mind. It wasn't dating Rebecca that brought it out. It gave me the confidence to really act on it. So don't pussyfoot around. If you feel that it's something that, you know, who you truly are inside, even if you're 13, even if you're 18, start talking to people, even if it's just a counselor, even if it's just your friends, your close friends, even if it's, you know, whatever.
Even if it's people online, sometimes it's easy to talk to people with anonymity at the keyboard between you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and by the time I told my parents, I had plenty of practice telling people that I was trans because I've been coming out to people for 10 years. Anyone else?
I got a little something.
Yes, side, go.
I'll lay it straight. Being gay is amazing. Like, being gay is the best feeling in the entire world. So, or being bisexual is the greatest feeling in the world. I mean, I don't know what being bisexual feels like because I'm gay. But just being who you are is great, you know? And, like, there are going to be people who are like, no, you can't be that because of this and that. Be like, well, who are you? Just be like, I don't know who you are. You're not me. Only I know how I feel, and that's it. Only you're gonna be the only person who knows how they truly feel. So don't let people tell you how you feel. Like, you can't like the same gender. It's not natural. I'd be like, well, excuse me, I've been like that my entire life. So I really don't know why you're trying to tell me how to live my life, because it's my life, and only I'm gonna know how I feel. And you know, whether people be like bisexuality doesn't exist, just be like, excuse me, I'm right here, and I am a very valuable person, and I'm real. So it's great. Literally, it's great who you are, and you know, there are gonna be times where you're like, man, I hate being who I am, or it sucks, but you gotta remember, be like, no, it's amazing. Like, I'm who I am, and I was meant to be this way. So don't let people tell you otherwise, because those people are not valid. Well, those people should change their point of view and open their mind just a little bit, you know, just a little.
I'm going to be completely corny and possibly offensive in saying, I think I can sum up everything you just said by, I'm super, thanks for asking.
10 out of 10.
Da 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 da. Skypaw's leaving us. Thank you. Thank you for being the emotional side of this whole thing. Anybody else? Final thoughts, advice to LGBT people, youth, or people that are going through their own crises?
My one piece of advice for definitely myself, from my experiences, you know, for years and years and years, pretty much most of the way through middle school and high school and early adulthood, I used to tell myself every single day, pretty much, that I hate myself for this, that, and the other reason. But, you know, it got to the point where, like, I pretty much literally got tired of telling myself that. And so I just, you know, tried telling myself that that I love myself, and that's why I started writing notes to myself. And so,
you know, it's funny. I'm pretty sure you haven't watched Dear Evan Hansen, but that's exactly what Dear Evan Hansen is doing in the musical to start off. It's why the musical is called Dear Evan Hansen, because that's what he writes in his little journal.
I'll definitely have to see that sometime. But yeah, so my piece of advice is just never be afraid to love, and that most importantly includes yourself, because, you know, in my experience, you know, just being accepting of love, including loving yourself, is and loving others, is the most important thing in the world. At least it is to me.
Awesome. Thank you, Zeta.
I'd also like to add, like, you know...
Closer to the mic, Rosie, I can't hear you.
Sorry. Zeta had it a little closer to him, kind of going back and forth there. Anyway, I wanted to add that, you know, as for myself, like, I identify as bi, and a lot of people kind of like to give people a hard time, like, oh, well, you're married, you can't be bi. It's like, well, excuse me, just because I did happen to marry someone that's a guy doesn't mean I'm, you know, straight. It just
pigeonholed into being hetero for the rest of forever.
100% agree with you. Just got engaged to a guy, and people say, like, no, you must be straight. No, that's
well,
not
hey,
how it
we're
works.
both bi.
Yeah, we're both bi, so we look at each other for the person that we see each other, you know, like the person that we love, not the sex, you know. So, like, if Zeto's a girl, I'd still feel the same way, you know. That doesn't like matter. But, like, you know, it just, like, for me, like, love is love, and I think, you know, that was expressed in the video, and in the cover, that love is love, and it's really true. Like, you know, don't be afraid of love. If you have to take that time to come out, you know, and explore yourself and, like, build up that courage, you know, do what you need to do. Like, everybody moves at their own pace, and that's totally fine. You don't need to feel like rushed into that kind of stuff. You know when you're ready to talk, and, you know, come out to the people that you love and trust. As far as the depression part goes, I've struggled with depression. I more recently got diagnosed, but I know I've been struggling for years, and I've had suicidal thoughts. Never try to go through with anything, but even so, like, those thoughts are hard. But I've had to tell myself that it will get better, and for me, it has gotten better. And I know that, like, I will still have those off days. I will still have those days that will be hard, but you know, I have the people around me that love me, and that's really what matters.
I'm sorry,
And,
Rosie, you're being really genuine, and Zeta is writing into the chat. Cue
I
NSYNC.
saw
Bye, bye,
that.
bye.
You. Why you do this to me, husband? I love you. This is why I am married.
Anybody else with any final thoughts before we head out here?
I have.
Or are we
just
going to end on NSYNC?
I have one little thing. Just
Decibel says
very short.
So yeah, we're ending on NSYNC. Guys, we just got another super chat real quick from Ignis Infinitum. That's $9.99 super chat that says, "I'm not LGBT, but I know a few people who are, and I truly hope that everyone grows to understand and accept other people regardless of who they are, and I hope it happens soon." Me too.
Mood.
Same.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sending that. So, ending off here, I do have some footage of Side doing the initial reaction to the mix, which I haven't seen. I'm sure it'll be entertaining. I'm going to play that, and then for anybody that's tuned in that hasn't seen the video, after Side's reaction to it, which I'm told is kind of long, so, you know, if you don't care, go get a coffee or a soda or whatever. I'm not going to judge you. Side is saying something in response. No, okay.
I was just laughing.
My Discord not working. I stopped hearing things. Awesome. Love Discord. Discord works great, you guys. Just BT dubs. I'm gonna have to stick to Skype for things. But we're gonna go ahead and play Side's thing, and then we'll play the actual video one more time, and then this stream is done. You'll be able to find the full version over on Scribbler's channel, which it will be linked to directly from. I'm just gonna deafen that because I can't hear anybody. Anyway, I will definitely link to it at youwillbefound.horse. Instead of the link to the stream that's currently on, we'll have a direct link to Scribbler's video over on her channel. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I wish everybody could say bye, but my Discord's screwing up with things. I know. Can I speak real quick, guys? Let's see if I can hear you now.
Hi. Blah blah.
No,
Hello.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna show Side's reaction footage, and yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Goodbye, everyone.
Once again, youwillbefound.horse. Click on the donate link. We are over 3/4 of the way there already, just in the hour and a half or almost 2 hours that we've been on the stream. So thank you guys so much for making that happen. That's just absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing your stories too, and for everybody that came on. L Train, Scribbler, Party Blossom, Side, Vocal Score, Zeta, Rosie. Thank you guys so much. Here we go. I'm gonna get this loaded up here. Side reaction. So let's go ahead and get this going.
Hello, I was told by Force that you wanted a reaction video of this, so here it is. I'm James, and Side Music, the one and only. Alright, let's hear how this sounds. I absolutely love this song, so I've heard this 1,000 times. I'm excited.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
It's turquoise.
Have you ever
Ooh.
felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere?
I like that voice.
Have you
So many nice voices.
Like you could call and no one would hear.
Oh my god, who was that? It's gonna be like me guessing about who's singing all this stuff. Let's see if I have the script up. There you go. Scribbler, awkward Marina. And then here's me. I'm the worst singer on this track. Ashley. And the vocal score.
Someone will come running, and I know
Ooh.
take you home.
Ooh! Oh, hold on. I'm gonna rewind real quick. Okay, vocal.
Someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
I'm gonna stop for a second. He stays around the same note and then goes down. He like goes up a little and then on the note, same note, and then goes down. And it's a matter of like, what, 2 beats? What? I can barely do like a little turn and like a whole, I'm pissed. Angry. Sorry. Here's Forrest. Rosie Posey. Okay, tenor. DJ.
Cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around.
Ooh, yes, low note. Ooh, I like the little note change. Okay. I love Desti's voice so much. She could sing me to
I didn't
sleep.
know what love was until my dad met his husband.
You should not be afraid of who you are. Your true colors are the things that make you unique.
It does get better, I promise. You have every right to be yourself.
Be proud to be you.
You'll get through this.
True love should never be ignored.
Love knows no
Oh my
limits.
god!
Is love. Is love.
Oh
is
my
love
god!
cannot be killed or swept aside.
Oh my god. And yes, go. Oh my god, this is like the show, but with gay.
You are not alone and you never will be.
And MJ and Eltron.
This world would be a whole lot better if we just made an effort to be less horrible to women. We can all have our voices heard.
You should be who you want to be.
Equal rights for others does not mean less rights. Love is beautiful, and you're beautiful.
Believe in yourself and love who you love.
Never be afraid to be yourself.
Take pride in who you are.
Hearts, not hearts. We're all human.
Your true colors are the things that make you special. Don't be afraid to show them.
Don't ever settle for less than who you really are.
No matter how bad things at the start, everything will get better, I promise you. So don't give up ever, not in a million trillion bazillion years, no matter what, okay?
Who was that last monologue? I love that. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Okay. Okay, okay. Bottom.
Even
carry you when you're broken on the ground.
We're gonna rewind for that whole section one more time. Hold up. Hold up. Night, of course.
When you need someone to carry you when you're broken on the ground. You will be found.
Oh. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my god.
You will be found.
Oh my god. This is beautiful, Jesus. Oh my god. I'm shook. I'm utterly shook. Oh my god. Bravo to everybody involved, especially bravo to Forrest. Girl, you took this. You took this and went, let's make it beautiful. Ugh. Oh my god. Good job. Oh my god, and how many people are involved? Oh, way too much. Wow, I forgot how many people were involved, jeez. Bravo. Oh my god, this is really amazing. I'm so shook. Oh my god. Beautiful job. This needed to be done. This needs to happen. This needs to exist. I'm really glad this got finished, even though it took 1,000 years. I'm really glad this got finished. This needs to happen. Thank you to everyone for doing it. It was a ride, but it got finished. Especially thank you to Forrest. Girl, you're the savior. Thank you. Alright. I'm out.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere?
Have you ever felt like you could disappear?
Like you could fall and no one would hear.
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay.
'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand,
You can reach out your hand.
And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through,
When you need a friend to carry you,
And when you're broken on the ground,
you will be found.
so let the sun come streaming in.
'Cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around.
You will be found.
didn't know what love was until my dad met his husband.
You should not be afraid of who you are. Your true colors are the things that make you unique.
It does get better, I promise.
You have every right to be yourself.
Be proud to be you.
You'll get through this.
True love should never be ignored.
Love knows no limits.
Love is love is love is love cannot be killed or swept aside.
There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown.
Love is contagious.
And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
Love is love.
If you only say the word.
You are not alone and you never will be.
From across the silence, your voice is heard.
You are stronger than the hate.
This world would be a whole lot better if we just made an effort to be less horrible to one another.
We can all have our voices heard.
You should be who you want to be.
Equal rights for others does not mean less rights for you.
Love is beautiful, and you're beautiful.
Believe in yourself and love who you love.
Never be afraid to be yourself.
Take pride in who you are.
Hearts, not hearts!
We're all human.
Your true colors are the things that make you special. Don't be afraid to show them.
Don't ever settle for less than who you really are.
No matter how bad things at the start, everything will get better, I promise you. So don't give up ever, not in a million trillion bazillion years, no matter what, okay?
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new. All is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. 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 Even when the dark comes crashing through.
When you need someone to carry you. When you're broken on the ground.
You will be found.